welcome to our third and final review of the evening. The away team. The away team lost Exodus. So this one's a bit of a curio, as I think this is our first interactive fiction game. So I guess to prime those who might not know what that term means, that's basically a fancy way of saying text adventure. Although this game is not 100% text adventure. It does have graphics. It does have some non-text adventure gameplay, mainly dealing with the space parts. You know, it's like the for lack of a better term, overworld space. You are moving and guiding your characters to the next event, and that's real time, and you know and you can affect performance there. You can upgrade your ship to go faster, for example, or your sensors can get worse. But that's pretty incidental. And getting back to the whole name split, so the reason why we're reviewing the away team this week, we've had this game for like about 3 weeks or so. It's because in the PR notes, the people behind the game noted that a substantial update was coming this past week. This past Tuesday, this game got a overhaul, and so much so where it picked up a subtitle, Lost Exodus. Not really a content update, since in the traditional sense there have been content updates, but the base game is about the same. Like I encountered the same kind of planetary encounters before and after the updates, but the graphics have been overhauled and been given a pretty substantial upgrade. You might be hearing the word upgrade quite a lot. And things were added. Chief among them, there are now encounters in space. Beforehand, the whole space overworld thing, kind of pointless. In a couple regards. Not only would you not encounter anything but planets, you go to event to event to event, basically, and there's nothing else out in space. Like now you can find various asteroids, stars, scientific exploration stuff. You get space events.
You can have the sudden terrifying experience of getting a hull breach for no immediately discernible reason.
Right. And that is a new event that was not present in the old version of the game. Just a whole litany of upgrades. Another chief function update was Steam Workshop support. You can now create and edit and upload characters to the game.
Yeah, the important things about every character are 3 stats that are scaled from, I think, 0 to 10, and characters normally have a max of 15, and then 4 traits that determine what tasks types they're good at among the team.
And new for the Lost Exodus update, you now get a relatively minor upgrade system. Like, there are now assigned roles that have a bearing on what limited character growth is. Assigning a character to a leadership position, they become a better leader. Mechanic position, same deal. Engineer position, same deal. Those are the 3 important positions. Anyone else who's added to a crew, they are just crewmen or crew members. Your initial selection of characters, you get a base set of 10. how many you can bring along depends on the difficulty level. 8 for easy, 6 for medium, 4 for hard.
And are those the starting characters? Are they um, the same for everybody, or are they different?
Uh, in what fashion?
Like, are they the same 10 characters that you start, or the same 12 characters, or whatever that you start out with?
Yeah, they are the same characters, like, no matter what the game, if you're not adding characters to the game. Like, you can pick up secret characters through various events. And the overall story is the Earth has reached its last legs, and you're trying to find humanity a new home. You are the last ship that launched, part of a massive waves of ship that's been sent out over the course of, I'd say, about 25, 26 years. And your job is to find, well, new Earth, for a lack of better term. 8 Earth-like planets.
Yeah, there have been ships ahead of you. There won't be any ships after you, and none of the ships ahead of you have reported back. So,
it's going to be a harrowing adventure. And how it breaks down is you will explore various planets. Some planets are just there for fuel and food. Two other facets of the space overworld is it's got fog of war, which is a new feature because in the old version of the game, they would just highlight the planets no matter where you were in a solar system. Now you have to.
So now you have a chance of wasting more fuel while trying to find the planet.
You actually have to find the planets, and food and fuel are your two resources. They burn, and they burn at different rates. Fuel will be a pretty constant but singular rate. Food will take a bit of time, but will drop more precipitously. Like, the crew will devour, say, 7 units of food over a course of time, rather than just dropping like the fuel does. And running out of either doesn't immediately doom you. It's like you will have to make sacrifices. Like, when you get low on food, you will first have to put the crew into cryo stasis, and if you get down low, even lower, well, there's an achievement for cannibalism.
Woohoo!
Yeah, your ship has systems that are extremely techno-babbly that basically let it convert pretty much any organic material into food or possibly fuel, and let you repair the ship with other parts of the ship. Pretty much, it's called the Theseus system because of the ship of Theseus parable thing.
Right,
which is a ship that has over time had every part replaced. Is it still the same ship?
In this case, yes, because of the you that you are playing. As in, your perspective is the ship's AI. And that's the thing that doesn't change. I'll note the big question about whether the ship of Theseus was the same ship came down to the I'm trying to think of the part. It's the I don't want to say it was the sternum, the keel. It's the thing that's at the bottom of the ship. That's basically the spine of the ship. That's the only part that didn't get replaced, so it was still considered to be the same ship. It's when that final part gets replaced, is it the same ship?
Well, I've also heard of a version where then someone grabbed all of the discarded parts of the thing and then put them all together and built another ship out of them.
Right.
But in this case, you're the same AI continuously, and you're distributed throughout the thing, so parts of you can be replaced. So even I guess because you're the player, you always have a continuous awareness.
Yeah, the AIs do not get replaced, and
What I meant is that, like, if parts of it get damaged, it doesn't tell you about this, but, like, if parts of the AI get damaged, they just get repaired.
Right. I'm just saying, like, the overall you that is you is still the you. So it's going along those lines. You know, the ship is the ship is the ship. It doesn't really care about getting its parts replaced.
And your ship is called the Argeo, which is, you will note if you know anything about mythology, not the ship of Theseus.
Anyway, I will say.
Although I think he was on it.
You will encounter other ships' AIs. That's all I can really say about that. And yeah, your overall goal is to search planets and find a new home. It sounds pretty basic, but it can be rather involved, especially since character traits play a role in when people go down. Characters actually speak now, which is a difference from the old version.
Especially if you hire the characters that say, like, they have comedy skills.
Yeah, it's like basically the Lost Exodus update was worth the wait. In most respects, and I'm going to get to the thing, you know, the downside, because that goes into price. Before the update, the original VOA team cost $2. This update was considered to be so substantial, its price got raised to $8. Now, is this game worth $8? Yes. Very much so. Because it's probably going to take you some time to suss out the details of everything, and there are also multiple endings. Like, I only got one of them. There's at least 4, I think. Let me just check the achievements because it had that listed. Let's see. Yeah, there are 4 endings. You know, you end up at one of 2 planets, and you know you got a major choice to make at said planet. Like,
assuming that you don't get the other ending, which is that all of your characters died before you got to a habitable planet.
Right, and you might be doing that anyway. Let's see. Lastly, didn't affect gameplay or anything, but now characters can collect mementos. Like, anytime an encounter happens, a character will have an object from said encounter. Right. Right. Petty Van, you've been playing the game for the stream, so what's your take on this thing?
I'm not really sure. Like, this is another one that's not really my thing. Like, I guess it's all right. It's one of those. It's similar to like a few of the games we've had. This would be more something I'd play on mobile or whatever. You know, scroll through it a little bit on my phone, do other things, come back to it. Not really something I'd want to sit and put hours into like a normal PC game.
I guess that's where we're going to differ, because I would hate playing this on my phone. It's like just the text alone.
Well, they definitely have to do some UI things with it, you know. They couldn't port it as it is right now to phone.
I know. It's also, you know, I have played games like this before. I didn't necessarily grow up with them, but like I got Lost Treasures of the Infocom discs in the 90s. So I am familiar with interactive fiction as it originally conceived, and I can conceive of nothing I'd rather play this on than a computer. So call that a difference of perspective, but for me, Yeah, the PC is the perfect platform for this. Not that I don't know if this will come to mobile or not. Um, this isn't one of those games we got an interview with, and really the team seemed to be very busy with the development of the Lost Exodus patch. So
I don't know. I personally found this game really stressful, but that's because I get emotionally attached to short strings of text.
all right, so Twilight, what's your perspective?
I did like this game overall. Though I had some bad luck. A lot of bad luck at some points, but I do like survival games, and about the only issue I could say I have with it is I kind of have a hard time maintaining attention to the game. Some periods of time, I'm not sure why. I guess over time I kept restarting it and then kind of got bored with reading some of the same stuff sometimes.
Mhm.
No.
Probably.
Well, there you go. Honestly, I think this is, at least in recent memory, the game we've had the most differing opinions on.
Yeah, to clarify, I think it's a pretty solid game in terms of a space survival simulator thing. I just had a hard time playing it because I didn't want to lose any of my crew members.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened with me as well. I didn't want to lose people so quickly, so
And yeah, technically
kept
you
starting
can
over.
probably force quit out of the program before it autosaves, but it does autosave after every event.
Yeah, after every event, but you have to complete the event. That's the key. If you don't complete the event and you exit, you will start where you last saved.
Although I imagine oops, all your crew died would count as completing an event.
If you let the text scroll.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Alt F4. Oh, look, no one's dead.
yeah, you can save scum this game.
And there are some events that you can't avoid losing characters on, apparently. So, you know,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess on that.
for those events, you can choose to not do the event. But
Yeah, I ran into one of those events twice. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for the away team Lost Exodus, and indeed that will do it for our review set this week. So, the week ahead, bit of a schedule jumble here because of the Halloween holiday will fall on directly
Wednesday.
on Wednesday. We had to change some things, but before we get to that, on Tuesday, October 30th, we will be having Giuseppe Enrico Franchi of 34 Big Things. He's Italian.
sounds Italian, I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm like, and on Friday, November 2nd, we will be having a good friend of mine, Matt Barton of Matt Chats. That's a YouTube show, but that's not really going to be our focus. We're going to be talking about our first video game book. As he, I believe, just submitted the Dungeons and Desktops 2.0 to his publisher. This is a comprehensive examination of the CRPG genre throughout the ages. So, stuff like Wizardry, The Bard's Tale, Baldur's Gate, and so on and so forth. We're going to be talking about a lot of that on Friday. Personally, I'm looking forward to it for a couple of reasons. You know, not just because I like the topics, but it's nice when you can have a good friend on the program.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so until Tuesday, I shall wish you good gaming.